Hi again, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Kwite. Yeah, I've always had a New York accent. Fuck you, me, and I'm in the middle of getting me a Valkyma vasectomy, yeah? Prop for today is usually when I stand up my normal microphone on to record videos with, but there's nowhere to stand it right now, so I'm using this shit. It's not like I always take pleasure in making these videos. Some I do for the passion and the love of the sport of calling strangers on the internet pieces of dick cheese, but for some random fuckos online, I call them pieces of dick cheese because I am sworn to, because it is my duty. And now to my fellow YouTube viewers and creators, I am sad to let you know that today is one of those days where I must do what I'm about to do, not out of want, but out of obligation. David Dobrik is one of my favorite YouTubers, like hands down. I rarely miss any of his uploads, and he is part of the select and very elite group of YouTubers, known as people I've considered buying merch from, which I never actually ended up buying. Like for real, his vlog is my go-to time waster to watch something when stuffing my obese face with Chipotle. I'm at vlog 228 at the moment, and I'm working backwards in his catalog for whatever reason. Please don't ask for my content consumption order reasoning. I haven't really deciphered the logic behind it either, and thinking about it makes me feel as useless as a dehydrated slug. But alas, even with the level of prestige his content has achieved, he is no stranger to controversy. For instance, the now deleted video from fellow dehydrated slug, Trisha Paytas, entitled Why David Dobrik is a Horrible Human Being / Person. I don't remember which one was the original title because she deleted it, like I said, and it was fucking ages ago at this point, and let's be real, neither of us fucking care. But Trisha makes the genius comparison of likening David Dobrik to Ted Bundy. Yeah, that's right, the charismatic serial killer.
And I used to really love David. I used to think he was like so charming in the same way Ted Bundy was charming. I guess, you know, everyone thought he was charming too, who turned out to be a serial killer.
The logic behind that is so strong that it loops right back around to being retarded. But then after that, she just spends the rest of the video complaining about everybody but the person that's in the title of it, and then calling Jason Nash a bad person for some stupid shit like caring about his children or something. Genuinely, who cares? The issue I'm going to be bringing to light today is far more pressing and telling of David Dobrik as a person than any other controversy he has faced in the past. And this all centers around his relationship with a particular ex-lover, Lorraine
Nash.
For those of you who don't know, Lorraine
Nash
is the mother of Jason Nash, and up until now was the wife of David Dobrik. And I know that already raises all sorts of red flags. You're probably thinking, didn't Jason Nash serve in World War II, and isn't David only 20, making the age gap between him and Jason's mother incredibly large? Why yes, that is a very long and suspiciously specific way of stating that they have an age gap. But let me tell you, the motivation David Dobrik had for marrying her was not out of love at all. In fact, his reasoning was absolutely heinous. It all started with a conversation David was having with his good old buddy Jason Nash when he was doing his absolutely awful bit of relentlessly bullying him. He's going on and on about Jason has an ex-wife because he sucks or whatever, until Jason strikes back by saying that David will never have a wife because no one will ever love him enough to marry him. Now, of course, this was all in good fun until David decided to take it a step too far.
You'll never have an ex-wife because no one will fucking marry you ever.
Yeah, motherfucker?
Yeah, let's see you get married.
You'll regret that, motherfucker.
David is personally offended at the content of Jason's words because he knows how right he is. But he can't just live with his failure and stew on the inside about how he'll be a lonely cunt like the rest of us. He can't just wallow for the rest of his days like a normal person. No! David Dobrik thinks he's really cool, so he decides to go outside and take control of his life and actually do something about his situation, asserting agency over his predicament and trying to improve it for the better. That absolute scumbag! And let me tell you how he goes about it. This motherfucker flies all the way over to Boston, where Jason's mother lives, and then proposes to her for the sake of the vlog.
From the moment I laid my eyes on you.
I am so fucking confused.
Lorraine, Charlotte Nash, will you marry me?
Are you out of your mind?
I want to be Jason's stepdad.
Oh, that would be hysterical.
That absolute piece of shit! He was never in love with Lorraine. He was using her as a bargaining chip in his war on Jason Nash, just so David could become that mother trucker's stepfather. He views her as nothing more than an object. Forget that it was purely a joke and not meant to hurt anyone. It was just a mechanism to create a great piece of content, which it did end up doing. Great video, David. Please make more like that. That was really fucking funny. Forget that Lorraine was totally into it as well and thought it would be hilarious if he did it, and David asked her if she was down for it, and she fully consented to be a part of the video. Forget that he treated her to a flight to Las Vegas and a mock honeymoon in Hawaii with skydiving and a bunch of other amenities that she probably had an overall great time being a part of. David only married that woman for selfish reasons. He was never in love with her. After confronting Jason about it, he's so nonchalant. He goes on and on and on about how he's now the dad, like that's all he's ever cared about when marrying this woman, getting to be Jason's father. He never loved her, and now he's weakened the meaning of what a good Christian marriage is. How fucking dare he? And if you listen to the podcast where he's talking about it, he reveals all about his intention. It's clear that he's not and has never been happy with Lorraine, and that as soon as David started the marriage, he was ready to end it.
I asked if she'd kiss me. She said yes.
Okay.
I was very happy about that.
Okay, nice. We know you've been struggling in the lady department.
It felt good.
Good.
That's honestly the only reason I did it.
I have to say, you haven't been much of a husband. You've been married for a week, haven't spent any time with her.
Like, just you marrying anyone.
But it's not like it's not like a real marriage. I'm sorry. I hate to say this in front of you. It's not true love.
In fact, he said the only reason it would likely still be going is because he would just forget to file for divorce. He cares so little about this relationship that Lorraine is throwing herself into wholeheartedly that he passed the responsibility of filing the divorce off to his goddamn assistant Natalie. I'm honestly disgusted. The way David Dobrik is treating the absolute queen that is Lorraine
Nash
has forced me to immediately unstan. I have blocked him on all social media as we speak, not on my main accounts of course, because I still want him to follow me back on those, but I've made dedicated second accounts on Instagram and Twitter just to say that I've actually blocked David Dobrik. I didn't actually do that. I'm too fucking lazy to do that for the sake of a bit in a video. God, I really do make low effort content. No! Now that David's intentions going into this relationship have been very clearly revealed to be heinous, it was all about getting back at Jason with him. It was never about settling down with the love of his life so he could finally have epic sex times now that he was married. But some shocking but unsurprising news broke that showed the world the ugly truth of David before I was able to spread the truth of it. E-News posted an article showing the dark side of that schnozzlecock Dobrik. YouTuber David Dobrik files for divorce from BFF's mom 1 month after wedding. What a fucking sentence. 1 month is all it took for David Dobrik to tie the knot with the love of his life and then immediately turn his back on her and call it quits. Disgusting. Let's see some more of what E-News has to say on the issue. See if we can find any new information on why these two split up quicker than a wishbone that's being broken apart because two brothers can't find any other way to decide who gets to have the top bunk in their now shared room. Some marriages just don't last forever. E-News can confirm that YouTube star David Dobrik is legally calling it quits with his wife of 1 month, Lorraine Nash. In May, David took to social media to announce he tied the knot with Lorraine, the mother of his friend and fellow YouTube star Jason Nash. Yeah, sure, even though now it's become very clear that David Dobrik has no respect for Christian values and the sanctity of marriage, deciding that having sex is more fun than being married to someone and being in a legally committed relationship. He's also right. Last night, I became my best friend's stepfather by marrying his mother. He wrote on Instagram along with a picture of the duo in wedding attire. So grateful for this opportunity. I'll treat you as my own. I love you, Jason. Now go take out the trash. It's stinking up our living room. He also explained to his fans on Twitter, my friend told me I would never find love and get married. So I flew to his mom's house and married her on the spot. Now that same friend is my stepson. True love always wins. Love always wins, he says, as he goes on to break the heart of a poor old innocent woman who married him to make him happy and to try to make things work. All for the sake of his vlog. I'm honestly disgusted. I genuinely don't know if I can look at David Doe's shit the same way again. Now when the article broke, it was absolutely everywhere. People had been retweeting it on the timeline. Keemstar covered it on Drama Alert. If you were 40 years old and somehow also watched David Dobrik, then you shared it to your Facebook wall, you absolute fucking relic. And David knew that he was in trouble. He was finally being exposed to the world as the manipulative scumbag he was. As if not sharing his unlimited Chipotle for a year with the general masses wasn't enough proof. So he took to social media to conduct immediate damage control. On Twitter, he said this first. I am heartbroken to announce that Lorraine and I have split. I wish her nothing but the best. We may have rushed into things, but that's what happens when two young people fall in love. Please respect our privacy at the time. And attached, he had a screenshot of this aforementioned article. David thought he was so clever with his response. He thought he was getting ahead of the public press. But no, he was oh so wrong. You can't just sum up everything you've done to crush this poor woman in your relationship with her with a tweet, and he realized this as well, so he took to Instagram, where he could post more pictures of him and Lorraine together and use more words to try and manipulate and pull at the heartstrings of his naive viewers. I am heartbroken to announce that Lorraine and I have decided to end our romantic relationship. We wish this news would have come from us first. However, we know it's difficult for the media to resist the speculation.
I see through your lies, Dobrik. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling shit.
Who does this buffoon think he's fooling? His fan base and people who aren't as retarded as me and can see that the whole thing was a joke to begin with, and that this video isn't at all serious, the one that I'm making right now? Well, whoever it was aimed at, it won't work on me. The way he's treated Lorraine's emotions throughout the relationship cannot be allowed to be swept under the rug. They must continue to pretend to be taken seriously like this was an actual breakup with an actual unironic relationship behind it that warrants me taking sides. This totally wasn't a joke and or satire video made to just poke some fun at some things. Yes, I definitely actually hate David Dobrik, and this is totally a real thing. I totally still don't adore him and his content. David Dobrik, I know you're watching, unless you're not, in which case this is highly embarrassing. I know what you did to Lorraine off camera, you absolute piece of shit. You said hi to her without giving her a hug that one time, and no amount of public apologies and asking people to respect your privacy in these trying times is going to change the reality of who you are. You better watch yourself out there, Slovakian. Karma's a-comin', and he's a far crueler commentary channel than I. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe, and if you want, turn on notifications, please, I'm begging. Hit the bell! Hit the bell! If it wasn't clear by now, this whole video was a meme. David Dobrik. Genuinely, it was all jokes. I know that I tried to make that pretty obvious, but I know some people will still not get it, surprisingly, somehow. It's actually not that surprising if you think about it. But David Dobrik, love your shit if you're actually watching. Don't know why you would be, but love your stuff, man. Anyways, I have a podcast with Wiles Barnes and FPS Diesel called Labnas. We upload one new episode every week on Saturdays, and we're up on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Kwite to find out when I go live. I stream some Minecraft there, but I'm thinking about streaming Final Fantasy 14 as well soon. You can follow me on Twitter @Kwite and on Instagram @Kwite.png. Links to both of those in the description below. And lastly, I also have a Discord server. Link to that in the description if you're interested. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I'll see you guys next time.
Kwite.
If you don't want a prop, I got a belt to beat you with.